Yeah, look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit up Mikey for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose. Deal, be my source, Christian like Dior. Yeah, I can't start when I'm far, just get back up. Yeah, I've been quiet all along on my TP toes. Yeah, I can't keep it to myself, I just give and go. I'm a visionist, yeah, you can't picture this. Yeah, ain't no way you cannot work me, boy, I live for this. Yeah, sipping essential, that's the essentials, I'm influential. Yeah, straight fundamental, that's fundamental, on instrumentals. Yeah, speed of the tempo, yeah, we got potential. Shoot a movie like I'm Denzel, running my route to the end zone. And they sticking to find me, man, you know where to find me. I'm tryna get me a Grammy so I can dedicate it to my granny. Look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit up Mikey for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose. Deal, be my source, Christian like Dior. Yeah, I can't start when I'm far, just get back up. Yeah, I've been quiet all along on my TP toes. Yeah, I can't keep it to myself, I just give and go. Yeah, I just turn my L's into W's. Yeah, I just told my sins, yeah, I'm no true. Yeah, stay in your lane, don't you pick and choose. I can't waste my time, I got a lot to lose. To the game that we all on, they was doubting us all along. Now we charting in Hong Kong, what competition, they all gone. Bless, stress, play the game like it's chess. We next, that's a check, over stripes, yeah, yeah.
I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah. I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can top that. No way, critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell them all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on, and I'm the one they really couldn't get a handle on. Then when they see that Mr. Boy, they get a game.
Yo, I tell you folks, when I hear that theme song, fam, I would slap the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro.
Fam, right? Just double.
I'm right there with you.
I just
told
want to
Pete-
see, just smack him and they just go fucking flying back. And that's it.
Man.
What
I
a
told
song,
Pete,
man.
I hear that. I just want to go outside and Kimbo slice somebody, man. Rest in peace to Kimbo, man.
I just want to do a Dusty Road and just right on top of somebody's head, man. Guys, what's going on? The Dallas Cowgirls are getting their ass whooped, but here's
Smoked.
DS. We are here. I mean, you know the sad thing, Francis, and Chad, I'm going to get to you guys in 1 second, but when something is on my mind, I got to say it really quickly. Craziest thing about the Cowboys is I'm starting to get scared because too many people are comparing them with the Yankees, and it doesn't make me feel good.
Let me tell you something about that. Up until this season,
Let me tell you something.
I was saying the same shit. I was like, yo, we're becoming the Cowboys. Every year, we're the only ones that believe we're going all the way. Everybody knows we're not, but we're the ones who believe. But I
don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm gonna reserve. And then, I mean, the attitude of the fans and everything. I get it, but we've won more recently than the Cowboys. Okay,
Correct.
Okay.
So at least, all right, that's okay. At least
And
we can say that.
Aaron Judge is not Dak Prescott. Okay,
No, not
we
at all.
would be
Dak
the Cowboys if the Cowboys had Patrick Mahomes.
Yes,
Maybe.
correct.
But we have Aaron Judge, okay, and
No
Garrett
doubt
Cole.
about it.
They
And-
don't got that.
As our good friend Simon says on All Rise, which would be tomorrow at 11 a.m.,
Yes, sir.
Aaron Judge is a gift of God, okay?
Yes, he is.
He is a gift of God. That's all there is to it.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
That's right. That's
Thank
one of my.
you.
That's in my prayers every night.
Every night for
Yankees,
him,
Kyle.
Soto, and Cole.
What's going on, my guy? Hirsch, Just AC, Anthony Garcia, who I believe had a super chat. He said, Game Season Live. I know, Anthony. It's the same song. I know. You caught me for a second. I was like, did I write something wrong? And then I was like, these guys don't miss.
You can't get nothing past this chat.
These guys don't miss. I feel like Garrett Cole when he did a little point. Remember?
That shit was so funny.
He did that little point. You know he does that to Amy. Amy, you... Wait. How does his voice go? Amy, you bake those cookies again?
The cookies I like.
The cookies are like.
Listen, man. When you pitch like Garrett Cole does, you can sound like whatever you want to sound like, man.
Yeah,
you come
don't
out
give
with
a
the
shit.
Pee Wee Herman voice,
Look at Mike
man. We
Tyson.
don't care. We love you.
Look at Mike Tyson's
love
voice.
you.
You think anybody was gonna be like, "Hey, man, you sound like a bitch"? Yeah, to Mike Tyson. Good luck.
Yeah, okay.
And your
Have fun with
nose
that.
is fucking 400 yards away. I mean, it makes no sense.
No,
Hirsch, Donald Burton, my guy, Donald Burton, Macho King, the GOAT is in the house, and yes, I got my
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
my brother Ra Thompson is in the chat, folks. And when Ra's here,
Familia.
good things happen. Truth always. Eugene Lopez, MRP Gamer says, "Yo, what's going on, my guy?" Joey Bag of Donuts over here. What's going on, my guy? All right, Francis, let's get into it, man. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm excited about today's show.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, we always find a way to make it a show, guys. But
We do.
we got some stuff to talk about today. So
It's nice. It's nice.
won't be hard.
It's nice.
Oh, this is nice.
This is nice.
It's a tagline.
is
That's
nice.
a DS tagline, guys.
Designated Spittaz.
Hashtag,
This is nice.
This is nice.
Or hashtag break your grandmother's hip. I mean, that's another one.
Mr. Break Abuela's hip in the building.
Yeah,
What's up?
Mr.
Talk
Break a
to
Hip.
me.
Mr.
Talk to
Break a
me.
hip.
We're not
But
live from Green Grove this week.
we definitely do have quite a bit to discuss today. And that first thing, of course, to discuss is the New York Yankees' current rotation. And how would we grade that this instant? Everybody already knows the Yankees added Marcus Stroman, who we're going to get into. We definitely want to talk a little bit about Marcus Stroman. There's quite a bit to unfold there. Maybe even some newfound respect for Marcus Stroman. I'll just kind of tease that right now, and then we're going to get into that.
Yes.
But as it stands right now, we already know it's Cole Rodon. Michael K believes it'll actually be Cole Stroman Rodon, which it could be. You don't know, but Aaron Boone is the manager. You never know what happens.
He said, let's put that out there from now.
Yeah, he's like, you never know what happens. But again, you got Cole, Rodon, Stroman, Schmidt, and Cortez, however you want to mix those five around, I'll say. And then you got pretty good depth there, right? You got Warren, you got Poteet, whatever his name is.
Cody.
Weaver. Weaver's out there. And then, of course, all the younger guys, Warren and Chase Hampton, Luis Heel. So, Francis, if you look at that rotation right now and you go, that is the way we start opening day, what grade are you giving them?
I got to tell you, this is going to sound optimistic or whatever. I know the fans hate this. They're like, Francis always has to preface it. Yeah, I do. I have to.
You're definitely more optimistic than me, no doubt
But
about it. You are more
you know,
optimistic than me, no
they
doubt.
know I'm optimistic, Francis. In the chat, they call me Talking
Optimistic
Francis.
Francis.
Sometimes I'm gonna tell you right
Talking
now,
Francis.
you guys better not ever call me that name. I love you. I love this community.
Don't say it in person.
You know, but don't come and tell me that in person, okay? Christian is a different relationship. Me and Christian got. Me and Pete, this
it's
is
different.
family right here next
Yeah,
to.
this is different, folks.
If one of y'all welcome to me and call me Talking Francis, we might have a problem.
He
But-
gonna hear the theme song come in his head, and that's
exactly. I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? I bet on myself,
it.
and
That's
best
exactly
believe I'm a bet on myself. But I look at this rotation. I gotta tell you, Pete. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I wrote that down, I said C plus. I said C plus, and I was like, I think that's fair. I think C plus is fair because at the end of the day, it's not. You know, I mean, we went into this offseason with Yamamoto on the brain and thinking about pairing Yamamoto with Garrett Cole and all this stuff
Yeah.
or whatever. And now, you know, to see that we're in January, pitchers and catchers are going to report in a month. And, you know, that's not, we didn't add like another ace level guy. But I thought about it some more and I bumped them up to a B minus. I bumped them up to a B minus.
I was gonna
Okay?
say this was gonna be really boring because I have him at a C plus.
And I was going to say,
I was gonna say
figured,
this is gonna be really boring because I have them at a C plus.
I was gonna say I was like you know what, let me go up to the B minus because if I know Pete like I think I know Pete,
C
I don't
plus.
see him going higher than a C plus on this.
Yeah,
And I don't
C
think
plus.
I don't think you're wrong. That's
Yeah.
where I was. And to be honest, a lot of people will tell you C plus B minus pretty much the same kind of grade if you're really looking at number wise. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, bro. Cole, like you said, could be Stroman, could be Rodon. I think they probably still go with Rodon.
Mhm.
Cole, Rodon, Stroman, Cortez, and Schmidt. To me, that's only good for a B minus or a C plus. And there's a lot of potential there. I
Yeah.
think we'll get into that, but you know, I'll let you go. You know, a little bit to why you're at C+ with it, and then I guess we'll get into why we think so.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, I want to start. We got a couple of super chats in here, so I want to get to those ones. Aaron Rich, my guy, says Peraza, Verdugo, Clark Schmidt, Everson Pereira, Will Warren in exchange for Cease and Luis Robert. Keep Aaron Judge in right field. Aaron, we're going to get to that. We're actually going to be talking trades today. I got a couple of them. Now you got me saying, every time I say talking something, now you got me thinking of these little weenies over there.
You got trades?
Jonathan says currently B-, but it could go to a B+ or even A. Got to see bounce backs. Jonathan, you're right. We're going to talk about that too. And then my guy Scott says, I do Hampton and Peraza for Cease. Snell, too much money. Otherwise, stay put right now. And guys, we're going to take all that input of what you said, and we are going to talk about that.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to stick on topic right now. I promise you guys, we are going to discuss trades because it's something I definitely want to discuss and talk about. But I got him at a C+ right now. I couldn't get to the B. I can't go to a B. But Francis, the funniest thing about all of this is last year we were all basically saying an A. It was nobody was scoring below a B with the rotation coming into last year when we had Cole, Rodon, Sevy, Nestor, Schmidt. Everybody saw that. And I'm sorry if you're acting like I was like, yes, there was flags. Of course, there's always going to be red flags. But everybody also was sitting out there going, we got 4-1-2s in that rotation. Like, we're in really good shape entering the year. And look how that turned out. So that kind of came back and taught me a little bit of a lesson. Like, all right, you know what? Let's try to break this down and take a look. We got the best pitcher on planet Earth. Is Garrett Cole going to have the same exact year he's had last year? Only heaven knows. We have no idea what's going to happen. Could he? Of course. Could it be a little different? It could be a little different. But that goes for Carlos Rodon. That goes for Nestor Cortez too.
Yes,
you
sir.
never know. Is their bounce backs going to be impactful enough? Is Marcus Stroman going to be able to throw 160 plus innings? Is that going to happen? Is Clark Schmidt going to take a step forward? A guy made 32 starts. People forget. That's value.
A lot of value, especially with the Yankees' current setup.
And their lineup being better. Now, look, at the end of the day, not all 32 of those were pretty. He basically only had 2 good months, and the rest of it was not good at all.
Yeah.
But does he take that step forward? We've seen him, his training videos. I mean, he's out there busting his ass to try to improve. So a lot of times you got to tip your cap to that a little bit and hope. But the thing the Yankees really didn't have last year is starting pitching depth. And they have that now. Whether you want to see it a certain way or not. Are any of these names sexy? No. And it's funny, I played Steve Austin because currently we have 316 people in here. Austin 316. So for the 316, hit that like button.
Only Pete would fucking notice some shit
you know,
like that.
I'm like a little mentally unstable.
No,
yeah,
bro,
I'm a little mentally
it's
unstable.
a part of
I'm
the
all over
genius of the
place.
show. It's a part of the genius of the show.
I'm so all over the place. I looked up early dementia yesterday because I'm
No
like, bro, I forget
fucking way.
everything I do. Bro, that's how all over the place I am. When I talk about all over the place, it's not normal
my
all over
God.
the place. I'm like, this could be signs of early dementia. Jared just goes, just shut up. So you look at this stupid shit. I'm like,
Guys.
I keep forgetting things. Where did I put this? Where did I put that? Who was I gonna look up? What player am I putting on the thumbnail? I don't fucking know anymore.
Oh my God. Can you imagine just going through Pete's Google history and you just see early dementia? And Jared's like, hey, Pete, did you Google early dementia? Never you mind. Never
I
you.
don't like that kind of talk.
Bro, Google has killed me about 14 times already, just so everybody knows.
Yo,
Google's
same.
killed me about
Same.
40 times already.
Don't
Got a little
Google
chest
your
pain
symptoms.
right here. You're
Don't-
dying.
Yeah, exactly.
You're dying.
Every
That's all it
time,
says.
every time I Google something, it's always the C word that comes up. I don't even want to mention it here, but every time I Google something going on with me, it's like, yeah, that's an early sign of this version of that. And I'm like, yo, I'm ready to sit down my wife. Just be like, listen, babe, I'm
Her said, Pete,
sorry.
keep forgetting more than Michael McDonald.
I don't know what it is. Welcome
Well,
to
this is
designated.
nice. Well, yeah.
Welcome to designated spinners, ladies and gentlemen.
If you guys didn't know what the show was about, you're seeing it. But anyway, getting back to where I was.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Getting back to the C+ of where I had the New York Yankees currently. At the end of the day, guys, we don't know what the bounce backs are going to be. You know, is there still a chance that the Yankees upgrade this rotation? Yeah, I think there certainly is a chance that can happen. It wouldn't shock me if it does happen. Is it maybe less likely than I anticipated? Yeah, probably. I'm not going to lie about that. But I also want to just jump immediately into the Marcus Stroman stuff. If you don't mind, if we go right in the Marcus Stroman real quick.
Yeah.
You know, Stroman impressed me. And I'm going to tell people exactly what I mean. Me and Francis were talking about this before we went live. There was a report that came out that Stroman was interested in the Yankees, but the Yankees had no interest in Marcus Stroman. We come to find out now that was true. The Yankees had no intentions at all of even talking to Marcus Stroman and looking to sign him. Marcus Stroman requested a meeting with Brian Cashman directly. They both met face-to-face in person. Cashman came out of that conversation with a different opinion of Marcus Stroman and decided to bring him in. The reason I bring this up is, one, he accepted less money to play for the Yankees. Two, he's walking into the Lions den. He knows. Don't think he doesn't. Of course he knows what he's done and what he said. If Marcus Stroman is ass, I mean, this guy is going to be absolutely destroyed. He ain't going to be able to walk around in New York. I mean, it's going to get ugly for this. You thought it was ugly for Hicks. Aaron Hicks was always a nice guy. I mean, he said some stupid shit, but never directed it towards fans.
No, he knew better.
He knew better. He never did that. Marcus Stroman has directed things directly to fans, directed things to Cashman, to Michael Kay, and the list goes on. For him to sit back and go, hey, maybe I need this for my career. I want to come home. I want to pitch on the biggest stage. And I want to do it for the Yankees. And all the shit that happened, it is what it is. Let me do it. What's your take, man? But he notched up for me, no doubt about it.
No, and I'm glad. I mean, you made two very good points. But that big point, like, you know what I'm saying, agreeing to say, like, understand I'm going to take less money to come there. Guys, I mean, these players in MLB today, it's all about the bottom line. It's really all about the bottom line.
That's right.
I can't stress to you enough. Like, I know when, you know, we start looking at these numbers in the offseason and we get almost numb to it, right, bro? Like, you see the contracts come out and you see like 1, 2, 3 million difference. And it's like, oh, this guy only got 1 million more than this guy. Guys, we're talking about millions of dollars, though. Like, we're talking about millions of dollars. He walked away from 21 million guaranteed in 2024 to about, what is it, 18?
18
It's
point something.
18 point something. So he left 3 million on the table this year. And then who knows, depending on the season that he has with the Yankees this year, in the back of your mind, he would have been able to think, oh, if I would have had the season with the Cubs, I would probably get up to 25, 26 million. Who knows? Like, even at 30-something years of age. But he knew that to step into that room with Brian Cashman and to be able to convince Cashman that he was serious and ready to be a Yankee, what better way to show that than to say, not only am I trying to come here, but I know that, you know, you guys are going to offer me probably less than what I can get somewhere else. And I'm okay with that. To me, that shows a level of maturity a level of desire to be here. And I tweeted it out at some point this week. I'm a sucker for guys that want to be here, bro. Like, when we made the trade for Gallo, and I don't want to bring him up at the same breath as Stroman, but I say it because, you know, Gallo didn't work out. But if you guys remember, when he first came over here, there was some rumblings. Not a lot of people reported it. I do know one guy who did, happens to be on the screen with me right now, that there were some questions about whether Gallo would be successful here and things like that. And yet we still agreed to support him and to put all our strength behind him. Why? Because the guy came here and said, yeah, you know, I mean, of course I wanted to be a Yankee. Who doesn't want to be a Yankee? You want to come over here, perform on the biggest stage, put on the pinstripes or whatever. I always, in the beginning, I'm a sucker for that shit. But when you pair it with the story that you just said about a guy who had to read reports that this team was not interested in him, and this wasn't the first time, this is the second time, Pete, that he has to go through this, that the Yankees are publicly saying they're not interested in him. I mean, that shows a level of maturity and a level of growth, because a couple years ago when he got traded to the Mets and it came out that, you know, Cashman said he didn't feel that Stroman would move the needle for the Yankees that year, he threw a tantrum.
Yeah.
He threw a tantrum. He went on a Twitter tirade and social media, whatever. and he threw a tantrum, and he was talking shit about the Yankees, and he went on a warpath for a couple of years, just trying to shit on the Yankees wherever he could. That's how he responded the first time. Fast forward a couple years later, similar report. Marcus Stroman is interested in signing with the Yankees. The Yankees, however, are not interested.
No interest. Yep.
No interest. Literally, no interest. That's what Nightingale reported.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, that's just a smack in the face. Like,
Yeah.
this guy's interested. The Yankees responded, no interest.
Yep.
And instead of going on a Twitter tirade or whatever, no, he said, no. I'm gonna sit down with this guy. I'm gonna sit down with this guy, and I'm gonna show him why I need to be a part of that rotation, what I can bring to the table, and what I'm willing to do to be a part of that. And to me, that's a guy that I want on my side. So
No doubt.
I'm with you, Pete. Like, yo, he
No
has
doubt
my,
about it.
as of right now, he has my full support. All right.
It has to. That's a big thing. That's
so
a
long
big
as he
thing to
doesn't
do.
do anything between now and opening day, you know what I mean? Like any stupid social media stuff or whatever, he's got me, bro. I'm rolling.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to, no doubt about it. And we're, I want to stay on here because actually Ross sent me something that is really interesting that we've been meaning to look at.
Okay.
And he actually just sent it to me. Thank you, Ra. I appreciate that because it's actually all the numbers that I was interested in actually seeing. But before we go there, we got a super chat here. It says, Big Sexy Yankee, my guy, says, can we do Peraza for Edward Cabrera straight up? I truly believe, bro, if that was on the table, probably would have been done. Yeah, I don't think that's on the table. But we are going to get the trades. I promise you guys. I want to talk about it too. Very excited about it. But I do want to stick on the rotation here. So one thing that me and Ra were talking about on the phone, we said, we got to look at it and see the two teams that went to the World Series last year. How many starts did their starters actually make? How many innings did those guys actually throw? Because that's one of the big things that's brought up now, right? Is Snell doesn't throw enough innings. Marcus Stroman only did 130. And Garrett Cole, we know we got him. But what are we going to get from everybody else? So last year for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen made 34 starts, 210 innings. Merrill Kelly made 30 starts, 177 innings. Then Ryan Nelson made 27 starts, 144 innings. And then nobody else threw 100 innings. So they had three starters above 144 innings. They went to the World Series. Texas, Dane Dunning, 26 starts, 172 innings. John Gray, 29 starts, 157. Andrew Heaney, 28 starts, 147. Nate Eovaldi, 25 starts, 140. They had five guys go over 140 innings that was on their team. Yes, I believe John Gray wasn't there all year. And then Jordan Montgomery. No, but these are the numbers he did with Texas. Okay. And then Monty threw 67 innings with them. But what that shows me there, they had a lot of depth. They had depth.
There's
they
no
had
better
guys
no better word than that.
that could come in there and actually make starts and perform and give them 5 or 6 innings and so on and so forth and get that done. So that's the one thing you can say about the Yankees right now. I don't think anybody's sitting here going, it's an A+. I don't think anybody's sitting here going, this rotation is great, but I'm going to put this on the screen. This is a Francis tweet right here. I'm excited about the rotation / bullpen depth the Yankees are putting together. Beater and Warren should get extended looks this year. Luis Gil, and Gomez will be back. Yoendrys Gomez. We'll see what we have in the Cody's, Potita Morris, and now Dreamweaver is back in the fold. Those are all valid points because they definitely have the D word. They got the D word.
Depth. Look,
I have trouble saying that, so I'm happy you're saying it for me.
Listen, hey man, that's what we're here for. You help me, I help you. We help the world.
Smacky to likey, hitty, the subby.
Listen, you just made so many good points right now. I got to figure out which one I want to attack first. But I think the most important thing that you brought up was this: looking at the World Series teams. It's important because what that underlines is how baseball is changing. I think that's the bigger conversation, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Pete, the game. I mean, me and you do. We have these talks all the time. A lot of times off camera, unfortunately for the fans, right? But we're definitely, obviously, with all the content we're doing moving forward, you're gonna get these conversations. I promise. But we've had these conversations about how the game looks so different from what we grew up watching. Like things, not just the new rules, but even just the way that players go about their business now. It's very different. Organizations are also changing.
Yeah.
Organizations are also shifting. And value is put into different areas now. I mean, you have guys, it's not just the Moneyball thing. You have guys who now approach their offseason, looking at the numbers, like we don't need necessarily a 200 inning guy, but we need 200 innings.
Correct.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
And when I look at the Yankees and I saw the moves that we made throughout, this offseason, and I don't know that we're done, right? And like you said, you got some trades coming up, so we're gonna get into that. Why, because I agree. I don't think that we're done. I don't know that we're done. But I feel like they looked at it and they said, okay, we traded away over 300 innings here to the San Diego Padres to get back Juan Soto, who was an absolute need and fits perfectly here. And so we got to replace these innings. And you look at the guys they added and you look at the innings and you add it up or whatever. And the innings are, I just almost dropped my phone. The innings are pretty much at where they need to be. Even now with the Marcus Stroman edition, the innings are pretty much what we need. So they have the innings. Now the question might be, and I could see, in the chat, guys probably, thinking, okay, but Francis, what kind of innings? Is it going to be the same kind of innings or whatever? Listen, the teams that made the World Series, and that's the point that I think Pete just made here. The teams that made the World Series got there because of their depth. What depth means is that these aren't the guys. They're not the A-listers, but these are guys who are going to fill in and bridge those gaps. And Pete, how important? I mean, let's be honest. Stars, it's a star-driven sport like any other sport. Okay. But the outcome of baseball games it's very different than like basketball.
Yeah, no
the
doubt.
Outcome, it's not just your stars. Garrett Cole.
Not always. Very rarely is it the stars. It's not always the stars who get the big moments.
What did you guys talk about when you and Christian on NYYST the last time? I mean, Garrett Cole had his best season with us, and what did that amount to?
Yeah,
why?
That's right.
I mean, one of our star players, he's literally one of our star players, has his best season, wins the award for his position, and yet didn't even make the playoffs. We finished a 4th place team. Again, the outcome in baseball games, it's not only star driven. It's actually, you can make the argument that it has a lot more to do with the supporting cast. And that's why I put out that tweet. When I look at some of those names, I'm not saying that these guys are going to be the next second comings, guys that you couldn't even imagine were going to be good. They're going to be, lights out. No. But I'm excited to see what role Luis Gil is going to play, what Beater is going to look like on this team, what Will Warren is going to be able to do, like what kind of innings they're going to give. I'm excited about it, and I think there's a possibility it could be pretty good.
Yeah,
maybe I believe too much in Blake. Maybe
my belief isn't even there though. It's not even with Blake. I think Blake can do things with obviously certain individuals. I think we've seen it with Luke Weaver, who looked like a different pitcher than honestly when he was the bum that we picked up. And I don't mean that as knocking him, but when the Yankees picked him up, it was a scrap heap. It was like you're going on Skid Row and you needed a few innings thrown. So you just picked this guy up for that. But this guy came to the Yankees. Garrett Cole gave him a different way to throw his fastballs. Velo goes up. And you see him in that last start, in the last 2 starts he made. Yeah. And you're like, damn, this guy's serviceable. Like, I'm not saying this guy could be a number 5 starter for a team. He could definitely manage that. He threw 120 something innings, and the Yankees got it for $2 million. And he got fans panicking. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, hold on. You got a guy who threw over 120 innings making $2 million on this market?
Come on.
Yeah, I get that he was not good, but he did show improvement under the Yankee system. So there are guys that he gets better, but I just keep looking back to last season and I go, man, I had this expectation for this unbelievable rotation. And it went to shit almost immediately out the gate in spring training. Your hope was already losing. And then Sevy comes back, you're like, yes. And he's had to be tipping pitches because I'd never seen anybody get hit so hard in my lifetime. Never seen a guy get smacked around like that. He looked like Neely against Tyson.
He was.
I mean, it was an absolute joke of a matchup every time he was out there. He had the one outing, if you remember, against Soto and San Diego.
Yes.
When he looked the best he's ever looked. Sevy looked phenomenal. I think it was his second outing. And I remember going, wow, holy shit, Sevy looks good. And the guy looked like he took 400 steps back after that for the rest of the year. And he was absolutely miserable. We got a couple of a member chat here from Chris Hogan. He goes, love designated Spittaz. The Pete Francis duo is undefeated. Much love to you both. You know, that is actually a fact. We are undefeated.
No, yeah, literally.
By the way.
Never lost.
So,
never
undefeated,
lost.
never lost. Shout out to my guy Shannon. Big Sexy Yankee, open like saloon doors. Big Sexy Yankee says a trade for a starting pitcher is coming because the roster is at 42. Well, are we ready to go into trades already?
Some sort. I mean, there's some movement that needs to come, and that I think that super chat is kind of the perfect transition. I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of felt like the right thing to do. And people in the chat like Nelson, you're sitting there knocking. We're not saying Luke Weaver is this phenomenal pitcher. I'm just saying the guy threw 120 plus innings last year. The Yankees picked him up for $2 million.
They got
And he showed improvement under their team.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 13 innings, but he showed an increase in velocity, increase in spin. The stuff these guys looked at, he showed an improvement. How can you complain about $2 million?
especially with the task that was at hand. Like, I put out the tweet that I put out about the depth because going into the offseason, immediately after the Soto trade, I knew that we traded away 4 arms that if Soto was not available, all 4 of them were going to be integral in the Yankees' plans in 2024. We traded them. We lost those innings, right?
Yeah.
Sevy's gone. Montas gone. Like, innings gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
these are innings that were lost. You're talking, and you have to replace them. Now, you could always say, I mean, there's always the people out there say, "Oh, just call up the kids." But we know how the Yankees organization works. We're gonna have a couple kids, but they're not gonna call up all the kids. They had to find innings somewhere. And what you said, they purchased 120 of them for $2 million
Yeah.
with a bunch of upside.
You can't be upset with any of that. And guys, we got over 400 in here. Do me a favor, smack that like button, baby.
This community just I gotta tell you, this community continues to amaze.
We got football
me.
on, and they're like, "Fuck your football."
Pete, playoff football. We got 400 plus in here. Like, guys, you guys are amazing.
This is playoff DS, damn it.
Playoff DS.
Let me tell you, playoff
tell you something
DS.
about playoff DS, okay?
Playoff DS.
Let me tell you something about playoff DS. Oh, the last point. Could you say playoff? The last point before we jump into the trades. Pete, what time of the year would you say that pitching is the most important?
Postseason.
Postseason, right?
Yeah, big time.
Going into the postseason, what did everybody say about those Arizona Diamondbacks and their pitching situation?
They didn't have enough.
They didn't have enough. Why? Because you had guys like Brandon Fat.
Fat.
And you said he's going to get.
Fat.
They said they thought he was going to get his shit pushed in by the Dodgers. There was no way, right?
Yeah.
And then he was going to get destroyed, rocked by the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
They marched all the way to a World Series.
Yep.
With depth. So
Yep.
you may not think it's important as a fan to the lesser than sexy names or whatever, but Arizona parlayed that into a World Series berth. So there is something to that.
No doubt.
I rest my case there.
Those were the days.
Just to put that there. But there was one thing we missed. I forgot this other tweet here that I know you wanted to talk about. This is from Jared Carabas. He
yes.
says, to the Yankee fans who are making a big deal out of Marcus Stroman's ERA at Yankee Stadium, did you factor in the part where he was facing the Yankees when he was doing that, and now he won't be facing the New York Yankees? So, friends, I know you wanted to cover that a little bit.
Yes, I shouts out to Jared again. He's one of my favorite follows, even though he's a Red Sox content creator.
Okay.
I'm unbiased in that regard. He's good at what he does. He trolls Yankee fans a lot. Some of you guys take the bait way too easily, but he's good at his job, unlike some people.
Okay.
But I like the tweet. Why? Because people pulled up the 6 ERA, and when even Kay brought it up on the show this week, and I just saw people running with it crazy on the timeline, and I'm like, guys, he was facing the Yankees, who during those years were specifically built to be successful at home. Okay.
Right.
Now, the last couple of years, we've been scratching our heads a little bit. Why? Because we felt like they weren't building teams that were built to be successful in Yankee Stadium. But when Stroman was with the Blue Jays, we were building teams with the right numbers, at least offensively, to be successful in Yankee Stadium. So when even, I had Ruben pull up the tweet and say, hey, normally I agree with you, but, his numbers against the Yankees away from Yankee Stadium were much better. He had a 2.73 ERA. So him pitching against the Yankees in the stadium, it was him pitching at Yankee Stadium that would be the problem, I guess Ruben was trying to say. Yeah, pitching in Yankee Stadium against the Yankees, who are built to succeed in that stadium. Now he will be pitching in Yankee Stadium against teams that are built to succeed more so in other stadiums. I'm not saying I'm writing it off completely, the ERA and stuff like that. Listen, we spoke about this when the Yankees were not interested in Stroman, and we said there's a million red flags, and we're not gonna just stuff him in the closet now that he's a Yankee.
Right.
What we're saying is there's also positive. You look at that first half last season, there's potential there, okay? And there's reason to be excited. Let's not just pull up all the negatives and just run with that. This guy's going to be in pinstripes, guys. He's going to be in pinstripes. Let's give him a chance.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And look, man, I got his numbers pulled up right now. Starts at Yankee Stadium and starts away from Yankee Stadium. Again, I mean, you're talking about, what is it? It's 11 starts at Yankee Stadium, and then it's 7 starts away from Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I would love to see the breakdowns of those. Like, how many games were actually really bad? How many were really good? Was there a couple of games where he had a really bad blunder or two? And look, at the end of the day, too, you're talking about 11 starts. 11 starts, it's 11 starts over a period of time.
Exactly.
I can't sit there and just say, you know what, there's no way this guy could pitch at Yankee Stadium. Like, to me, that's just, it's always an odd thing. And like you said, you are not facing the Yankees. And that also goes down to how certain hitters fare against the pitcher. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go on that, simply just not to say he can't pitch at Yankee Stadium, forget about it.
Because what if I mean, in that same token, we can say, okay, he was a Toronto Blue Jay. The Blue Jays are in our division. Yeah. Isn't that a plus on his record that he has experience pitching up there? Is that a plus? Yep. Or are people gonna, if he goes up there and doesn't have the best numbers over there, people gonna say, oh well, whatever. It's like, yeah, he's pitching against Vladdy Jr., Bo Bichette. These guys aren't slouches. George Springer. Listen, if the guy doesn't succeed, he and I are not going to be the first ones making excuses. I promise.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah,
I promise you that this ain't going to be the excuse cast. All right, this ain't the channel for that. But we're saying give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, this is not. We didn't freaking sign a complete scrub here. Okay, this guy has shown potential as recently as the first half of last season. He's 32 years old and he wants to be here. What more motivation is he going to need? And I believe that there's something that can be tapped into, him pitching behind a guy like Garrett Cole, pitching with another dog like Carlos Rodon, and having, the wealth of knowledge that is Matt Blake.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, let's think of the personalities there, man. I mean, there could be a lot of stuff where these guys are really bouncing off of each other. I think that's very, very important. I mean, I think that's very, very important that these guys could kind of be competing with one another. I think that's a very valid thing. Yeah. You don't think Marcus Stroman would love to have the first half of the season done? It's like, yo, I'm the best pitcher on the staff.
Oh, come on.
He would love that. That's probably what he wants. He has something to prove, he feels.
And do people think Garrett Cole doesn't want somebody to push him? Garrett Cole is an absolute animal. He won one Cy Young. He's not done.
No, and look at the way Carlos Rodon is being written off. It's like, bro, you really he's the only real thing that I disagree with Yankee fans, like, what they're like, yo, this is Carl Pavano. I'm like, bro, you don't know Carl Pavano then. You didn't live during that time.
No, they
Carl
didn't.
Pavano wouldn't pitch from a bruised buttocks. My man was like, I'm out for the year. I'm good.
He fell in the shower.
Carlos Rodon, it was obvious this dude had a back problem.
Yeah.
And does that mean it just goes away? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the dude still took the ball. He was like, I'm not going to go fucking with my tail between my legs and run away. I'm still going to go out there. They're nowhere near the same comparison with those guys. So when I hear that, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry to tell you. And I hope I'll be the first one this year. If Rodon is asked again, I'm going to say, man, you know what? His contract ain't looking good, man. It's not looking good. Exactly. I don't care if you get 150 plus from him, but you got to get that. You got to get that.
Yeah.
You got to get some strong innings.
No, it's a little bit overdone. And again, we live in the social media information era, so this is what we're gonna see. Like, Twitter is a very toxic place, and when you have to go to sports Twitter, Yankees Twitter, guys aren't succeeding, it becomes even more toxic. But you're 100% right. You said it on All Rise this past Monday, which, by the way, All Rise tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. But listen, it's you said it, bro. Like, guys, it's one season. It's one season. Let's see what happens in year 2. what, like, guys, it's still January. We can't write guys off. Like, I don't understand how we're writing people off in January. We haven't
Bingo.
seen even spring training. They haven't even showed up with their bags yet, and we get all that content of the funny T-shirts and the whatever. We haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah.
Come on.
But we got I do want to get into the trade situation now too, but we do got a super chat from our brother, the one, the only, Raw Thompson.
Familia.
Man, I tell you, you got to bring music like that back.
Come on,
Rod
man.
Thompson, my guy, says, only faith I have in this organization is their ability to bring the best out of no-name relievers. That's what they do best, but I need another starter, an established one. Go Green Grove Tigers. Let's go, man. The Green Grove Tigers. That should be, when we do like charity softball games, we should name ourselves that.
That
something
should be
like
our
the
team
Green
name,
Grove
the
Tigers,
Green Grove
yeah.
Tigers. I'm all for
NYU's
it.
Green Grove Tigers. I think this yellow and black, like the Pirates almost.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Tight.
Listen, the half of me that's Puerto Rican is quite partial to yellow and black because of the great
Okay.
Roberto Clemente. So
Great Roberto Clemente. You know, for me, I just think it sounded good.
He said me. I just liked it.
Like the yellow and black. I'll go with that. Why not?
So let me ask you a question. When you talk about these trades, did you
Okay.
use the website?
The website, a little bit. I've used the website. Matter of fact, that Mario thing yesterday, I know people are still talking about it to this day.
Yep.
They're still talking about it today. And I tell you what, I don't know, man. I think I'd make some of those moves. But anyway, I do want to talk about this because there's been another report that was out today about the Chicago White Sox basically want, and again, I just want to throw it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. They act like all these reporters have been so wrong this year. The Yankees have been the favorite for just about every damn player in the history of the planet. They got one damn guy off the free agent side already. But when it comes to Spencer Jones, this is the big tuna out there right now. That's it, Marv. That's the silver tuna. That's what he is right now, right? He's the guy that it seems like everybody wants. And there was a report today that said that the White Sox want Chase Hampton or keyword here, OR, Spencer Jones. Now, I don't know about anybody else here, but if I had to headline one of those guys for Dylan Cease, if I could sit back and go, the person I like both. By the way, I like both of those guys. Chase Hampton looks like he could become an absolute dog, and Spencer Jones has everything you would like about a player. I mean, nothing you would not like. But I gotta think very hard, Francis, that if the ask is one of those guys, plus maybe Everson Pereira, Peraza, and maybe a relief pitcher, I think you gotta seriously consider something like that. A beautiful, lovely, wonderful fiance in the chat. Happy you're okay, baby. I forgot to message you to get home, but happy to see you in here. I'm sorry. I get very nervous when she's out. I get very nervous. She knows.
come on.
She gets pissed at me. Are you okay? Are you okay? She don't respond. I'm starting to break walls, so I got to make sure she's all right. But oh, she's actually still out. Okay, well, okay, come on, take it easy.
No,
Okay.
she's
Now you gotta get me nervous while I'm trying to do a show.
Driving and moderating at the
Jesus.
same time. I mean,
Lord.
she's the MVP though, P. She got it.
All right, well, let me calm down and get back to where I was because now she got to distract me. But Francis, I got to ask you, man. You're a little more level-headed than I am when it comes to this stuff. At least I think so. Because when I got Marcus Stroman, I'm trading the entire farm system. Teams would be like, call up Pete now. Call Pete now. Get him on the phone.
It's a
I'm
fire
trading
sale.
everybody. I'm one of those dudes where it's like, I'm sorry, man. I wanna get these guys in there. I gotta ask you, man, because again, you're level-headed than me. You know pitching very well.
Yep.
Cease has 2 years of control. I'm sick and tired of. Let me before you do that, I gotta ask you. You pitched. Can you tell everybody this is not an average pitcher? Please tell them.
Guys.
And if you think he is, you tell me.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, Dylan Cease is as far from average as New York is from Timbuk fucking 2. Okay, that boy don't gotta. Right now, as of right now, anything can happen. This is baseball. Things change. As of right now, that kid don't have an average bone in his body. Okay, the stuff that he has I'm talking stuff.
Yes, not results.
Not stats. Because
Yes.
this is the issue, right? And I think this is why you guys are out here driving Pete crazy, because you want to come at him with ERAs and this and that. They
got to be resorting to FIP.
Exactly. The stuff that he has is far from average. Now, you might hear that and say, but Francis, how many pitchers have we come across with far from average stuff, but it never amounts to anything? It's true. It happens. But it normally does not happen when the stuff looks like Dylan Cease's stuff. Okay? There are videos out there of him throwing pitches, making the best hitters in baseball look like they're swinging a wiffle ball bat. Okay, I'm not talking. I mean, there was a list 2 weeks ago. Some of the top 10 nastiest pitchers in baseball.
He was on.
Right?
What was he, number what?
He was number one.
He was number one.
He was number one.
When I hear people talk about this guy being overrated and this and that, I'm like, you guys do. Here's another thing I bring up, right?
These people never played. They never played.
But hold on, but this does play, does it not? And super chats, I'm gonna get to you guys. I see you. I promise you. But does this not play? He was on the worst defensive team in baseball.
Thank you.
They suck ass.
Thank you. I mean, we could show a highlight reel of the White Sox defense, and you would think we were playing the Aaron Hicks thing on loop. That's how bad their defense was.
I mean, the worst. And I'm not sitting here telling people. This is the other thing I want to say. I'm not sitting here saying that Cease is going to come in. He's going to be the best 1A we ever had. He's going to be a 220 guy. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying a lot of you guys are writing this guy off like he is the worst thing that's ever existed. There's a couple of things here that blow my mind about him. He takes the friggin' ball. How many starters? I wish somebody could pull this up for me. How many guys 3 years in a row made 32 plus starts? And 200 plus Ks. He might be the only one in baseball. I'm not joking. He could very well be the only guy in baseball who has done that over the last 3 seasons.
Might just be him and Cole.
Has Cole done that for 3 years in a row?
I think Cole probably. I mean, maybe I'm pretty sure he's getting the 200 Ks and the 30 plus starts
too.
the last 3.
He hasn't been injured with the Yankees.
But let's be honest, right? Let's not. I'm fucking drumming on wood when it comes to that. But let's be honest. There's the reason why we love Garrett Cole the way we do, and a big part of it is the number of starts that Garrett Cole makes. He's always there on the 5th day, literally always there. You can count on him like you can count on death and taxes. Okay.
Yeah. Facts.
And the other thing is, he's a dog, man. He strikes out everybody. Yep. Dylan Cease, and people are again, Pete. I know people are gonna be like, I'm bugging out or whatever.
FIP.
Dylan Cease.
FIP.
Go back, do me a favor. Whoever the people who don't agree, don't like him, do me a favor, go back. I want you to take a look at Garrett Cole's first few seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I want you to take a look at those first couple seasons and tell me that you don't find a 4-something ERA there.
Yeah, many times.
But yet we all knew. The Astros knew, the Yankees knew, everybody knew what this guy was going to be. And right now, who are we talking about? The way that we were talking, Dylan Cease. The same way. Okay, is he Corbin? Is he Corbin Burns? No, we're not saying he's Corbin Burns. All right, relax. We're not on here saying that it's the same thing as if we would have got Burns. No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is the guy's stuff is there. It's there's no doubting it. There's video evidence that the stuff is there. When I see somebody make Juan Soto swing like that, I'm going to take a second look because that is the best eye in the game. Okay.
Cole had a 4.26 ERA his last year before he got traded.
And this is when the Astros got him.
And do you remember this, Francis? You were here.
Yeah.
You were part of what we do. You remember me reporting on it.
Yes.
Back then.
Yeah.
What were Yankee fans saying about Garrett Cole at the time? He's a terrible pitcher. He doesn't improve the rotation.
Too many home runs.
He's been injured in the past. It was the same thing. And I'm not saying that Dylan Cease is Garrett Cole. What we're saying is if that stuff is harnessed a little bit more,
yes,
you are looking at a guy that could be the front of a rotation. That's all we're saying.
Let me tell you.
That's all we're saying.
Let me tell you something that Garrett Cole would probably say to anybody. One of the best things that could have happened to him. And not just because of the whole sticky stuff or whatever, because I know you guys will run with that. No. One of the best things that happened to him was going to Houston because it put him with Brent Strom and Justin Verlander.
That's right.
Okay. He
That's
got
right.
he was put into a room that was no longer the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he was with people who knew pitching, who talked pitching, who lived and breathed it. He had Justin Verlander, who had been there and done that there with him, telling him, this is what it looks like, this is what it's going to feel like, or whatever. Like, when you're not getting this look on your fastball, maybe you go to this, maybe you go to that. If your curveball's not doing, curveball not breaking today, don't fall in love with it. Don't marry a pitch. You can't marry a pitch. I know you like your 12-6. It's nice. I know you like your slider, but you're not going to have that every day. Maybe those days that you don't have the slider, don't be afraid to throw that fastball. Let that thing eat. You got a fastball that rides up at 100. Don't be afraid to let that thing ride. Yeah. When he got to Houston, he started pitching like an absolute dog. He wasn't afraid of nobody. Now, granted, there was the whole sticky stuff thing or whatever, but where was the sticky stuff in 2023? Because I saw a dog in 2023. He was a
beast.
So you talking about, Pete, when you ask me, okay, when it comes to the White Sox and Dylan Cease, Francis, would you at this point be willing to trade a Jones or a Hampton?
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
He also just turned 28 years old.
Exactly. Which I think is what? That Cole was 28 or 29 when he got traded. I think Cole was the same age.
I think Cole was the
same age when he got traded.
He probably was. Let's see. Garrett Cole. I just had it pulled up. I'll tell you right now. Super chats, I still got you, Jeff and
don't
Ruben.
worry.
I got you guys. Do not
Jeff,
worry.
Ruben.
He just turned 28.
Exactly.
No, I'm sorry. He was 26, turning 27. So 1 year behind.
He's 27.
He was 27 years old his first year with Houston.
Okay. Because they had the other year too. That's what it was. They traded for him, and then they had him too, and then he walked in the free agency. Okay.
Correct.
Age might be different. Control is the same, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers, not too different. The bigger difference is, I think if you look at Dylan Cease, he's been more durable thus far than Garrett Cole was early on, right, in terms of the innings. And strikeout numbers, I mean, Cole was striking guys out, but I don't know, 200 plus 3 years in a row with the Pirates. I don't know if he did that. I could be wrong.
I could check.
I know he was striking guys out, but there's a lot of similarities there. The point being, there's a lot of similarities there. And when I think about the opportunity of bringing Dylan Cease to the Bronx and pairing him with Garrett Cole to be like, his older brother in the rotation, the ace, showing him the ropes, and Matt Blake, who so far has done a pretty great job with our pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, I don't know how I say no to Jones or Hampton.
That's my thing.
I don't know how I say no to that.
He had one 200-plus strikeout season with Pittsburgh, just missed it in 2017 also with 196.
Thank you.
So only one overall before he went, and that bumped up like a stupid amount.
Went crazy.
The most strikeouts he had was 202. He goes to Houston as 276. Then he had 326 in one of the best baseball seasons in the last 10, 15 years. Easy for a pitcher. So he was just an absolute stud. Let me get to the super chats, and we're going to continue on here. Jeff says, to Ra's point, Trash Can is also very good at collecting large contracts. Let's go. We need another starter. Bauer, Cease, Luzardo, or Burns. We're going to talk about some of those guys. Ruben says 3 options. 1, Cease and Moncada, which is an interesting one. 2, Burns and Devin Williams. I'd give both of my pinkies up. Nobody needs them.
He said,
I can take both fucking pinkies.
I don't even use them.
I don't use these damn things.
Take them.
They're a waste of my time. Well, 3 is Luzardo and Luis Ariz. Which one would you guys pick? We're going to talk about some of those guys, Ruben, but I'll come back to that. And then L.I. Yankee King said, hey, how you guys doing? Hope everybody's having a good day. Thank you, L.I. Appreciate you, man. But, yeah, I don't know how some people just write it off and go, yeah, no, I'm not doing that trade. I'm like, that's a tough one for me because here's a couple of things. Spencer Jones. Let's take Spencer Jones first. And I'm not even making a case against them. I'm only talking reality.
Yeah, which
right
we have to live in the real world.
Do you believe that Jason Dominguez is going to be a good player based off what you've seen at the major league level, the short period of time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you believe the New York Yankees have a real chance of re-signing Juan Soto?
Yes, I do.
Do you think Aaron Judge is going to remain a valuable part of the New York Yankees on this contract he currently has?
I wholeheartedly do.
And do you think Stanton's going to be some guy the Yankees are easily going to say, hey, we're going to trade you next week?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. You think about all that. and then you say to yourself, if Spencer Jones has a strong season this year, is Spencer Jones going to become a first baseman? Are the Yankees going to release Stanton? What are you doing there with Spencer Jones? Where is he playing?
There you have
If you're
it.
center fielder
There
and
you
the
have it.
people that simply just go, yes, they're going to release Stanton, it's not that easy. This is not MLB The Show where you
Nobody
press a
release-
button and they're gone.
Nobody's releasing that kind of money.
Not that. You better wait until he gets maybe 2 years minimum left on that contract.
Nobody's releasing that kind of money. Not even the Yankees. It's not. People don't live in the real world when it comes to Stanton for some reason.
Another thing too, Francis, right? When you're paying somebody that much money, do you think the Yankees aren't going to give Stanton the opportunity to try to show he's bouncing
guys,
back?
We just saw it. We just lived through it with Donaldson for 2 years. We just lived through it with Donaldson. They had to play Donaldson, okay? They had a young stud in Peraza who they were dying to get a look at, right? Even if they, weren't too sold, but they wanted to look at him to see what they had. They refused to play him when Donaldson was available.
Yeah.
This is the name of the game. They were paying him $25 million. They were like, that's got to do something. It's got to do something. Stanton is in a similar situation right now. Obviously, different than Donaldson in that, like, we don't hate Stanton's guts, but
Of course.
Production wise, last season was very much on the low end, and fans are like, I don't know what we're gonna get from him. Let me tell you something. He knows the Yankees know what they're going to give to him. So as far as they're concerned, we will be looking at him this year and at least the next season too in 2025.
Yeah.
I don't know how people think we're moving him unless you're moving him attached to like Chase Hampton and Spencer Jones or some shit like that. If somebody wants to buy 2 prospects from us or whatever, that's the only way that something like that's going to happen. Do you want to do that? Because in a deal like that, you're not getting a Dylan Cease back.
And the best possible logic to that is that Stanton has a good year this year.
Exactly.
Then maybe you have a chance of something like that happening.
Exactly.
But
You parlay
again-
a really good year. It has to be
Right.
pretty good.
And again, I go back to this question here. Spencer Jones hasn't done dick.
This is all potential we're talking about.
Potential, right? Now I
Potential.
go back to Chase Hampton. Chase Hampton's a starting pitcher. When was the last starting pitcher that came up with the New York Yankees that over a 2-year span, even 3 years, was you pencil him? He made 40 plus starts overall.
Mhm.
Who was the last guy to do that besides maybe Sevy?
Huh.
Did we have Monty? Monty did it. Sevy did it. That could make, a couple of his. But
Yeah.
here's what I'm trying to say. Who do you think has a better chance of performing at this level? Hampton or Dylan Cease?
Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease. There's no hesitation on it. You're talking about a guy who can strike out 200 plus guys and is going to give you a ridiculous amount of innings, start over 30 games for you. Been there already. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about here. It's like,
And this is my point, right?
It's like, it
I
drives
like
me
these
crazy.
guys.
I
So
do
a lot
too.
of times what even the Yankee community does, like, oh my God, you hate our prospects. No, I don't.
No.
I want to win in 2024. I don't give a poot about 2025 as of right now. I could care less about 2025 as of right now. The way I see this year is that the guy playing right field for the Yankees, his name is Juan Soto,
Yeah.
one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge happens to be in center field, and left field we traded for Verdugo. We also know that the guy that we've already seen, Jason Dominguez, is apparently, when spring training starts, he's supposed to be just about as regular a player as it is, according to Aaron Boone. Meaning he's probably going to be able to hit and do that, have built up his arm strength and be back. Is there anybody here right now that could sit there and say, you know what? Spencer Jones is better than Dominguez. I'm going to ride with Jones. He's
There's
going to
no-
take over that
no-
spot. Dominguez
no-
can't handle it.
No,
How
there's
can
nobody,
you?
there's nobody who can say that because you'd be talking out of your ass. At the end of the day, we haven't seen Spencer Jones come up to this level. Spencer Jones is a name that we've heard. All right, those of us who follow prospects closely, yes, we've known for a little while. But a lot of you who are now talking about you can't trade Jones, you just heard this man's name a couple months ago.
Facts.
That you
Facts.
just found out that this dude existed a couple months ago. And all of a sudden, you can't envision a world that they would trade him for Dylan
Right.
Cease. There's no way. Or guys, at the end of the day, it's like PJ. I love our prospects too. I've been saying it. I'm really proud with the work that our development has done with these young kids. This new crop that we have. This the farm system that we've built up these last couple of years, especially because I'm so proud of them, because I believe in them so much, has a lot to do with why I'm okay with trading these guys away, because I believe in them to continue to acquire similar talent and redo it again.
And they got him coming up.
Yes.
They already got him in their system coming up. Trust me. You guys listen to Dane. I know Dane's definitely more prospect huggy than I am, but Dane even admits it. Well, if they lost this guy, they do have this guy coming up.
Exactly.
Couple of super chats. This is a great one right here by Joe Malone. He's right. Who would Stan even approve a trade to? He has to approve a trade. He has to approve if he moves. He rejected the Cardinals. That's the only reason he came to the Yankees. He was rejecting everybody.
That's the part that people forget. It's not just finding the first thing is finding the team that would take Stanton. The second thing is seeing if Stanton wants to play for said team. Because if it's not the Padres, the Dodgers, maybe the Angels, I don't see it happening. If you give me one of those Southern California teams, I could see it.
Yeah.
But even the Angels gives me pause, because the Angels they're not going to be winning anytime soon. And I don't think Stanton wants to be in a situation where I'm a part of a team that sucks and I'm just here to die. Like,
according to what we know, he wants to remain a Yankee.
Yeah.
That's been reported multiple times.
I mean, even
he wants to remain a Yankee. This is where he wants to be. And he got all the control of that right now. Unless the Yankees go, we'll pay you to stay home.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, with the Stanton stuff, I think I just hope for 2024, at least people can just put it to a rest. We're going to deal with whatever we get out of him from this season. And we'll talk about it next off season. Because at this point, guys, this whole thing, trade Stanton. If it were only that easy, guys.
Yeah, they would have been done.
It would have been done.
Killer Joe says Spencer Jones can kick rocks. Go pry my boy Burns from Milwaukee and forget about Cease and Snell. I got a super chat here. DJ Steels, where the hell did it go? What's 6.9? A good time ruined by a period. Oh my God. What's up, fellas? What's up, chat? What have I missed thus far? By the way, Pete, I got more content tonight.
Uh-oh.
Well, hopefully it's not regarding your first part. Regardless of the first part of your super chat there. But moving on from where we were. And look, I know everybody wants all the prospects up together. Here's another thing I'm going to tell everybody. The Yankees have Anthony Volpe, who, whether you feel how I feel about Volpe or feel maybe how other people feel, things going to have a great bounce back. I don't think Volpe's ever going to be the guy that people expected him to be. I never expected that from him. I never expected a 300-plus hitter. Everybody, he's going to be Derek Jeter. I'm sitting there going, where the frick do you guys get Derek Jeter?
He said, who the fuck said that?
Who the fuck was that guy that said that?
Who thinks this guy's Jeter?
Can Anthony Volpe become a very, very solid regular major leaguer? Yes, no question about it. He could be. Yeah. But this idea of a 300-plus hitter, I'm sorry. I think that's out the window. I don't think he has a shot.
Unless he gives up the home runs. If he sacrifices the home runs.
See, look, this is where I differ. Ruben says I need Volpe to hit 270, 280. I'd be shocked if he did that. If Volpe hit 240, I'd be happy. With his power and speed. I'd be happy at 240 and better on base percentage.
You give me 240, 245, 240 with a, 290, 300 on base, 3-something on base, 40 stolen bases, and the walks need to improve. I mean,
he hits 270, 280. He's one of the best shortstops in baseball. And I'll just say that right now.
Come on.
If he hit 270, 280, yeah, he's one of the better shortstops in all of baseball, and that's not even close. Come on. If that's the case, we'll see what happens there. Austin Wells. I think Austin Wells is going to be a guy this year that people need to keep their eyes on. I'm a big fan of Austin Wells.
You've been saying it all off season. If Wells goes off in 2024, y'all gonna get tired of me saying. I'll be like, none of y'all was calling it, but this man Pete was saying it from all the rooftop. Wells is he expects more from Wells than he does Volpe. I'm telling you.
I do. I see that from Austin Wells. But my point here again is that we have the youth that have come up. People are acting like, oh my God, if we get Spencer Jones, leaves, we're done. What are we gonna do without Spencer Jones?
How can we live without
another
him?
thing, Frank, I gotta get this off my chest. Stop fucking saying that this guy's insurance to Juan Soto and disrespecting that man that way. By saying Spencer Jones is insurance to Soto. What has Spencer Jones done? And I like the guy. Don't compare him to, oh, he's gonna replace what? What?
No.
You better go make a trade for somebody who's been done it. If you're gonna put him in front of for Soto, that's his insurance. Get out of here. Insurance, my ass.
Come on.
Insurance.
There is no insurance for Soto, and I will explain this to you guys, and I hope you guys get it, because to me it's really simple. When it comes to Juan Soto, you traded how many players? 6.
6.
You traded 6 players to get him. You traded the minor league pitcher of the year in Drew Thorpe. You traded Johnny Brito, who transitioned into a vital role for the Yankees in 2023. You traded Randy Vasquez, who, right? I'm correct. It was Brito and Vasquez, the two.
Brito Vasquez, yeah.
A guy who was very highly touted and came up this year and also pitched some solid innings for the Yankees, and I guarantee was 1,000% in the plans for 2024. And then you traded Michael King, who came up at the end of the season and had a couple starts that had all of us thinking, yo, did we just find our number 2 like by mistake?
That's right.
Here?
That's right.
You traded all that for Juan Soto. If Juan Soto walks away,
what a disgrace.
Spencer Jones could be the next Aaron Judge, and I guarantee you that still doesn't amount to what we traded just to get Soto here. There is no insurance for Soto.
No, there isn't. Soto leaves its pie in your face.
It's exactly. The only insurance for Soto is signing Soto.
Signing Soto, yes. And look, I fully expect the Yankees to do that because they can't be that friggin' stupid.
No.
The minute they said we're gonna do all that, you better have had in your head, we could fit a $530 million contract next year, no problem.
Let me tell you.
We could do that. And I'm telling you, they did. There ain't no way. And why are Becker? Why are you saying Pete Soto isn't leaving? I'm not saying he's leaving.
No, we don't think he's
I'm
leaving.
the last person that ever said that.
We're the ones telling you.
Soto's a Yankee. He's
we're
gonna
the ones
stay a
telling
Yankee.
you might as well retire. You might as well put 22 in Monument Park tomorrow. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Hal Steinbrenner, I'm gonna have to go into hiding if that ever happened. There's no way. You can't
he won't be able to
stupid.
show his face in the Bronx for like the next decade.
You can't be that stupid and not bring that guy back.
Guys, there's no way on God's green earth. You think that there's people on Yankees Twitter and stuff that like Yankees prospects? I promise you, there is nobody who loves the Yankees prospects as much as Brian Cashman. There is nobody.
Dane might be there.
Dane
might
close.
be close.
Dane is close. But
my brother Dane is close.
Let me tell you something about Brian Cashman. He loves his prospects, and nobody hugs those prospects like good old Brian. There's no way in the bluest of hells that you would have been able to convince Brian Cashman to give away 4 arms.
Facts.
For a guy that he wasn't already told by the owner, yeah, we're going to go wherever we need to go to resign.
Hal had to tell him. Hal was like, no, you make that move.
Exactly.
Hal is getting upset. He said, make that move. You got to make that move. And they did. And, with all that being said, again, I want to just rephrase because I don't want people to take me wrong. I really like Spencer Jones. Dane knows it. He could tell you right now. Last year, me and Dane had the same conversation. And we both agreed that he might make the major leagues quicker than Dominguez. That was last offseason because Jones has that potential. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
Jones could come in this year and be a very, very good player. The guy's a freak athlete. He should be somebody you want to keep.
Could be.
But when you want to win now and you have players and you've added to your team and you got all that good stuff, I'm sorry, but a prospect is a suspect until they prove it. And at the end of the day, to me, you got to seriously consider making that move. Chase Hampton, if Chase Hampton becomes Dylan Cease, everybody in here is going to be happy. Exactly. Everybody here would. You can say, no, we wouldn't. We want him to be better than that, and that. If that man ever has an inning in the major leagues of 32 starts and 200 strikeouts, you might be shocked. I might be shocked if he actually does it. Because you know why? It's not easy.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often.
Come on now.
if there was a way to look at how many teams have a pitcher on their roster who could say that they did that at any point in their career, I would hazard that it's less than 5 teams in all of baseball.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
that's
not
how
knocking
hard it
these
is
guys.
to do
I'm
that.
just saying this is not, it's like I had a guy on Twitter saying he's Clark Schmidt, and I'm saying, what the fuck game did this asshole watch? What game did you
baseball.
watch
Not
to
baseball.
say that? And that's all I'm saying. But the Yankees, there's a very real possibility here that they're going to go ahead and bring in a guy like Hector Neris, who I like a lot. They might bring back Wandy Peralta, who I like a lot also. Wandy's gotten in very good shape. He looks fantastic, by the way.
He looks great.
He's had
He
to
does.
drop a good 20-plus pounds easy. He looks phenomenal. But they may go more to the bullpen, and they may look at the deadline and go, let's see what this gets us, and then maybe we trade for one of those guys then. Or what could very well happen is that maybe Chris Getz and the White Sox say, you know what? Maybe we go a little more quantity than the quality. This is a team that probably doesn't expect. Or they say, hey, if you know you're not going to do that, you got to take Moncada and you got to take that contract. And that's something like Ruben said. I think that's something the Yankees would have to seriously again consider. Because look,
I mean,
no depth is enough. Do you agree with that? Right? No depth is enough. No starting pitching is enough.
When it comes to pitching, no, can never have
And we've
enough.
seen this a lot of times. For me, it's as simple as if you can add, you should add.
Yes.
That's it. You're already over the $300 million. If you can add, you should add. I also believe, Francis, somebody said it earlier, they do got 42 guys on the 40-man right now. I think 2 guys to pay attention to on a relief pitching side that could be traded, Canely and Johnny Loizaga. The reason I say it is the Yankees are going to have a lot of guys, especially if they get Neris and somebody else, that have no options left. They can't be sent down. They're going to have to move some of those guys to fit a bullpen.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very possible that you can see some of the higher salaried relief pitchers get moved on when the Yankees have brought, De Los Santos and a couple of these other guys that are very cost effective but great stuff.
Exactly.
So I like
Well,
to hear your take on some of that.
That's where we're at, right? With a guy like Canely, you can probably get a team to bite on him, right? A team that needs to fill out their bullpen. I don't believe Canely has no trade or anything like that, so he's movable. The money is manageable, to an extent. But it is money where if you're the Yankees, you take getting that off the books, especially when you have the guys that you just mentioned, guys like a Yerry Little Santos who has some tantalizing stuff, and you might believe, we probably can harness some of that, figure something out with him, and he might be the next guy for us, right? I'm not saying one of these guys that we got this offseason is the new closer, the next Mariano or some wild shit like that. I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't think we have that guy. I mean, I think we both have been, pretty adamant that we don't have that guy when it comes to closer, because Holmes, has shown that he's just not that guy. But look, we have so much depth with the bullpen that now these conversations are probably being had by Brian and his team. Like, we could sustain moving on from Canley. We could sustain trading Johnny Lowe. I mean, I know a lot of guys probably ain't gonna love that. Our boy Johnny Lasagna is gonna have to find a new Twitter name, but
facts. He can keep it. He becomes Johnny Lasagna.
He's the only Johnny Lasagna in New York at that point, right?
He's the only one.
But at the end of the day, Pete, you raise an interesting point. I don't know how Cashman and co aren't having those conversations right now. I believe that they are probably considering, hey, which one of maybe we move 1 or 2 of these guys, bring the payroll down a touch. Again, I'm not saying the Yankees are, we got a penny pinch or whatever. The payroll's up $300 million. All right, we're right there. They're not penny pinching at this point, though.
I believe right now, something like that.
At this point, it's just keeping flexibility, because anything can happen throughout the season. Who knows what they're gonna have to do at the deadline? Right,
exactly.
You might have to add some money.
Yep, got a couple of super chats here. Our guy Rich Squires says, "How better open up his purse next year and make it a no-brainer." There's chirping about how Cohen is prepared to offer Soto $625 million to lure him over. Well, look, let me tell you guys something on that too. That's why, if you guys remember, when we were doing Soto Watch every night, one of the main things I repeated all the time when people were saying, just wait, don't trade for him, just wait. I said no, because then you have an advantage of signing him. You want to go for him because then you got the advantage. One, you got what is it, 5 days before free agency of exclusive negotiation time or whatever that
Exactly.
is. But you also got the entire year to convince this guy why he should be here. Would I be concerned if he gets on the open market and other teams are able to knock down any offer to Yankees? Yeah, I would be concerned about that. I seriously would be.
Of course. How could you
I
not
think
be?
you have to be concerned. The Yankees have to, in my opinion, lock him up before he gets there. And I know people go, yeah, Boris doesn't do that and this and that. But that's why you start that relationship early with a guy like Soto. The Yankees didn't make a mess of arbitration. Thank God, because I had a little concern there. But they knew that coming in anyway. And they made it work.
When people bring up the Boris thing, just to make this one point about that, because I get it. He's the best agent in the game. And he does scare a lot of people for some reason, whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to players on the level of Juan Soto or Garrett Cole, or even your Rodons, it doesn't behoove Boris to go to the player and tell the player, this is what we're going to do. And when it comes to players like Juan Soto, Boris's job is to get that player what that player wants. To tell that player, tell me what you want. And now I'm your agent. I need to go get it. Boris has to get Juan Soto the money and the place that he wants. Yeah. And that's how he gets all the other clients. And those other clients, those are the ones that Boris says, no, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get you this. I'm going to get you that, whatever. We'll go here. We'll go there. With a guy like Soto, Soto's the one that writes that ticket, which is why it was paramount that the Yankees traded for Soto, because now this whole season becomes Court Fest 2024.
Bingo.
You are courting him all year long so that when the season is over, it's a very easy decision for Juan Soto. I want to be here.
doubt.
I want to be a Yankee. So even if he does get to free agency, his first meeting with Boris is very simple. Listen, me and you know where I want to be. You know I want to be here. You know I don't plan on taking this jersey off. Get me the money that I want. Talk with whoever you got to talk with. Drum up whatever you got to drum up. But at the end of the day, I'm signing a contract with this team. That's our job, is to make sure that that's the conversation that Soto has with Boris. Boris doesn't put anything in when it comes to that. The Yankees put everything in this season when it comes to that. We got to do it. Us fans too. We also the fans too. We got a big job with that this season. Show up and show out for Soto. Show him why he needs to be a Yankee for the rest of his career.
Yep, no doubt. Another super chat here from Rod Thompson. It goes, if the Yankees had a better track record with prospects, I'd be fine with prospect hugging. But when I look at how they treated guys like Andujar, Peraza, Frazier, I'm keeping one and trading the rest. And that's another valid point, right? The Yankees already have potentially 3 of their prospects that could indeed pan out in Wells, Volpe, and Dominguez. That's very good. We haven't had that in a very long time, and that is a possibility there that can indeed happen.
Gives us a lot of flexibility also financially.
Yeah, and
which is why we're saying what we're saying about the Yankees.
Which is why signing Soto also is not a problem. Money comes off the books, and those guys for years to come are cost effective. But when it comes to the other names, of course, we know about Burns. We know about the Florida Marlins. My God, the Miami Marlins. Who, by the way, I mean, I don't want to give anything away from Dane here, but Dane said he's heard some rumblings from some people that he speaks to that says that they have talked trade for a starting pitcher. No idea exactly what it could be, and I think that's fairly obvious too, that they more than likely have been having conversations. Edward Cabrera got some of the filthiest stuff in Major League Baseball. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
Here's a reality that I'm sorry to give some people, and even myself, but I've come to the reality now. I'm a big fan of Oswald Peraza, Francis, and Kev thinks this way too. And I'm not saying that the Yankees haven't given him the right shot. I'm not saying that. The time he has been given hasn't been overly effective. But the other thing I'll say about Peraza, maybe, I know people aren't going to like this, maybe some other teams don't see it. Maybe some other teams see him and go, we need a shortstop, but not that guy.
Could you blame him?
It's possible. I mean,
Could you blame them if they don't?
The Yankees
see it?
haven't believed in you, so why are we believing? And that's one of the points I brought to Dane. He goes, "Oh, he was a top 100 prospect. That doesn't matter. The Yankees haven't played him like that."
I mean, yes, he it's true. He was a top 100 prospect, but this goes back to the conversation that me and you have had ad nauseum at this point. The Yankees don't do their prospects very many favors.
Not at all.
We have habitually decreased the value. I mean, plummeted the value of some of our best prospects. I mean,
Yeah.
when Miguel Andujar came up, this guy was a doubles machine. I mean, he
That's
was
right.
absolutely nuts offensively. This guy
was a
was
stud.
crazy. I mean, shouts out to Miggy. He had an amazing season in DR.
Yeah.
That just came
MVP,
to-
right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna
I
get.
don't know if
he
it's
might've-
official, but I
yeah.
know they were MVP.
Yeah,
and the whole crowd was going nuts for
this
him,
guy
so.
because he was absolutely box office. He was ridiculous out there, and I mean, of course, I mean he did it for my team, Lycée, but he came to the end of the agreement with Oakland, so Oakland pulled him back. But this is a guy who looking at him this winter in the
Oh,
winter
he did sign
league,
with Oakland?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for him. Good
Yeah,
shout out to
Oakland-
Mickey. I had no idea.
Oakland, I mean, as far as what I heard and what I saw was reported, he had to. The reason that he had to step like off the team now is because Oakland said, "All right, that's it." Because normally that's what they do.
Nice.
They give you a certain number of games, and that's the deal. So
Okay, well, good.
but
Good
look,
for him.
seeing him in winter ball, it reminded me of that year that he came up with us, that he was doing all that. And what did we do? He got injured, he came back. We couldn't find a place to play him. We tried him in different positions, put him in the outfield even. And next thing you know, all that value, all that potential, all that hype, gone, poof, overnight.
Yeah.
Peraza was a top 100 prospect, but going into 2024, there might be a lot of teams who are looking at it like, I mean, if the Yankees can't find a place for you, I mean, if the Yankees thought it was better to play Donaldson over you, if the Yankees still think that they're better suited with DJ and Volpe and Glaber than you, why should I trade one of my best guys for you? And I'm not saying that they're right. I'm just saying that I could see how teams would agree with what you're saying.
No doubt about
It
it.
wouldn't shock me.
And that could be the conundrum that the Yankees, are in a bit, because a lot of us sit back, right? We go, well, Pereira and Peraza for Cabrera just sounds like it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for both teams. They could be sitting back going, we don't believe this guy's a starting shortstop, so that doesn't really help us. That's not what we're looking for on our side. And then the Yankees, unless you're going to more of your more valued prospects right now, the Yankees probably don't necessarily want to do that. Like, one of the things that people got to recognize too is when they bring up guys like, well, they'll trade Roderick Arias and guys like that. The Yankees invested a lot of money to see that kid perform for them.
Yeah.
They didn't invest. It's like the same thing with Dominguez. It's hard. You invested a lot of money to see that kid perform for you. That's what you did it for. So those are the last guys that are probably going to be traded.
That's the part of it that's the lack of knowledge that shows there. And that's why, again, I've been shouting about every episode so far this season. I'm going to do it again. Yankees farm, man. Fuck with Dane and Carlos. These are guys who know what they're talking about.
Yep.
And they help you to get the knowledge that maybe is not out there for the common fan. Those international signing bonus, like that money,
it's big.
This is not money that people just throw around. Okay. The Yankees are very strategic with that money. When you see a guy get the money that Dominguez got, or Roderick Arias, who's the one we're talking about right now, you got to look at those prospects and say it's going to take a hell of a lot for them to move him. Even if you look and you say, but they have a shortstop now. Trust me, they're probably already thinking of ways that they're going to fit Roderick Arias into the plans. Roderick Arias might be the exact response to, hey, why are you guys not extending Gleyber Torres? They might not say it now.
Bingo.
They might not say it now, but it wouldn't shock me if their conversations behind closed doors are, well, the reason we're not going to extend Gleyber is because Roderick is going to be there.
Yep.
That wouldn't shock me. So
not at all.
I don't know if they're just going to throw him in a trade here for. Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not. But guys, as always, we'll keep you guys updated on what the moves will be if there's a trade. You guys know we got you covered right here, ready to rock and roll. But appreciate you guys again hanging out with us today, man, on a night of playoff football.
Playoff football.
We had
playoff
over almost 500 people in here the entire time, so we appreciate you guys. Becker talks about bringing back Gio Urshela. I think that's a real possibility, actually, but we'll save
You saw
that
the post.
for
You saw the post
with Glaber. Yeah. And they're best friends. And I think Glaber actually, there was a mention of something, maybe on his show, on his little YouTube thing he's doing, that he mentioned something about loving to play with Gio or something like that. I was reading somewhere.
Gio's been in a few episodes of the Glay way.
So I'd be very happy. With bringing Gio back. That would not bother me one bit.
That D word again.
Yeah. Little depth. Okay. Depth. Is that how you say it? Depth.
Sometimes you gotta give him the D.
Sometimes you gotta
give him the D. You know what I'm saying? I said it. Hey,
he's talking about Geo, folks.
Green Grove. Oh no, not Geo.
Green Grove Tigers.
No.
The Tigres.
The Tigres. Yes. Sí. Los Tigres de Green Grove. Brought to you by Presidente.
So, Francis, as always,
Listen, man, y'all already know, man. Keep it locked and stay tuned. This is the absolute, hands down, bar none, best channel for Yankees content. I don't have to tell y'all, because y'all know that's why y'all in here on a football Sunday, playoff football Sunday, rocking with the Spittaz, because what better way to end off your Sunday before going back to work? Even though some of y'all not going to work, because tomorrow's Dr. Martin Luther King Day. So shouts out to y'all. I'm not working tomorrow, so you should.
Shout out to MLK.
But what you need to do, smacky that likey, hit that subby, keep it locked, stay tuned, because the next episode will in fact be the best episode.
You damn right. I got to get something like that. That says it right after that. But
Right.
again, guys, you already know we would never come whack on a designated Spittaz track. Until next time, guys, as Hersha says yes, everybody, for tomorrow, all rise, 11 a.m. Be Martin Luther King Day, 11 a.m. Prepare your voicemails. Be ready to rock and roll. We got some stuff to talk about. But until next time, guys, we out. Peace, baby.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah.
Hey, look, top floor lifestyle, chef and boy, I'm cooking up. Way too high, ain't coming down. You see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much, so I'm running numbers up. Lucky that I'm Stroman up, I'm going off, they know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the billy, yeah. Don't need no dilly, I'm too fresh, I feel like